Okay, we are live on Twitter. We are getting live on Facebook. We are live on Rumble.
Hi, I'm Marinette Smith.
We are not Marinette Smith, though she is wonderful too. We are not live on YouTube tonight because YouTube still has us in timeout for the time being for sharing too real of information. So we will have to get the replay up on YouTube at some point. But welcome everybody to a very, very special edition of the BeatCancer.Org Ask a Holistic Cancer Coach weekly call. For those who haven't heard, we have a very, very special guest with us tonight. It is my pleasure to bring us tonight's special guest, who is one that is driven by cultivating community experiences that transform the very essence of our being. As a holistic practitioner herself with experience in herbalism and yoga, she guides others in reestablishing their relation to life itself, with other human beings, with the creatures and the plants, and most intrinsically with the cycle of death and rebirth. She educates and guides people on the path of sovereignty by way of purification and detoxification practices as a lifestyle approach. She fortifies people's abilities to filter out the polluted distractions and disorientated manipulations on our system, allowing for the essence to be present. Beyond her experience and achievements in the holistic health and wellness space, she's also a serial entrepreneur in the organizational and event management world. Currently, and very excitingly, she's the conference director of the Beljanski Integrative Cancer Conference, coming up next month, which BeatCancer are very, very proud to be Ruby sponsors of. So please join me in a very special welcome to Brandi-Tyann Kegley. Thank you very much for joining us. I did forget to correct the pronunciation of your name. Did I get it right?
It's very close.
It's very
Brandi-Tyann.
close. Brandi-Tyann. All right. Awesome, Brandi. Well, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. A lot to go over. A really, really cool conference coming up next month. Anything you'd like to introduce before we roll a little introduction video to the conference to let people know a little bit about it?
Well, just to say thank you first and foremost for having the Beljanski Foundation represented here for the Integrative Cancer Conference. Our president and our strategic director are early on a graduate of part of BeatCancer's programs, and really find that your organization were pioneers in the holistic cancer scene, and very grateful for the work that you guys have put out there and that cross synergy. And thank you for the warm welcome. I was pleasantly startled by you finding my practitioner bio. So yes, I am a death midwife and a somatic integrative yoga therapist, an herbalist. So I come from a life and lifestyle of holistic and wellness. And yes, I also support nonprofits and events in the event sector. So I wear that organizational savvy hat. And I'm very pleased to be here with you all to be able to share more in depth about this Integrative Cancer Conference, our second event coming up, which is the Foundation's annual now fundraising event for the research projects. And so we're really excited to share more about the Foundation and what we're striving to bring forward to everyone.
Awesome, awesome. As people are pouring in right as expected at 7:06, I will go ahead and roll the intro video that you've shared with us, give them a last chance to hop in, and we will hop to our conversation. So one moment, we got a video coming up. All right, Brandi and Carl, please give me a thumbs up if you can see that. Wonderful, wonderful. Please give me a thumbs up once again once it plays if you can hear it. All right, all right.
Nice video. Excellent sound.
Yes. Now, how do I get rid of it? Here we go. There we go, and we are back. For those of us who don't, those of you guys who don't normally join us, this is a very, very and casual call, friendly call. We welcome participation. For now, since we have our special presentation, please do keep your microphones muted. We will open some time for Q&A towards the end. If you have a burning question that you just have to get out right now, do feel free to put it in the chat, and we will get to those as quickly as we can as well. If you see me looking around like a crazy person at any given point, that's just me monitoring the streams as we're live on Rumble and X and Facebook, and I'm making sure that those are all good at the same time as I'm bringing you this lovely conversation here. So don't worry about me, I'll be fine. And yeah. So cool. Carl, any opening remarks before we just dive right into it?
Well, I guess we have to always say our disclaimer. This is not medical advice, blah, blah, blah. If there's going to be anything that happens. So you guys know the rest. And that is good. You covered everything that I put in the chat, so I don't have to say it, which is very good.
Awesome. All
And
right. So
excited to have Brandi on.
yes, as am I, and as I hope everyone else is as well. As a reminder for those that are joining us still, we are here to talk about the Beljanski Integrative Cancer Conference coming up April 25th to the 27th in Austin, Texas. And we have the conference director, Brandi, here to tell us all about it. So let's start from the beginning, Brandi. What is the point of this conference? What is the goal of it? Why is this being put on in the first place?
Absolutely. Well, ultimately, our host is the Beljanski Foundation, a longstanding nonprofit out of New York. And the legacy of the foundation is Sylvie Beljanski, the current president, her father's work. He was a doctor out of France in the 1900s, and his work and publications were moved by his wife and his daughter to the United States to continue because he was having groundbreaking studies and research with pancreatic cancer stem cells and botanical medicine with Chinese herbs, and that was being frowned upon. And so there is a story that's found in Sylvie's book on the legacy of that, and the story behind bringing the natural botanical research for cancer here to the United States under the nonprofit umbrella so it could continue its research. And Dr. Mirkov, her father, has 98 publications, and they continue that work with a medical director, Dr. John Hall, who will be presenting and at the conference. And the foundation conducts the botanical or cancer stem cell research projects that they rotate through from year to year with the University of Kansas currently. And so in 2023, the board of directors had decided that they wanted to bring more of the education that they've always offered through their platform out to the public. And be able to bring forth an educational event and also have that serve as the fundraising event and avenue for the nonprofit. In the cancer research kind of umbrella, mainstream cancer allopathic research and grants really go to those more allopathic driven institutions. And so our organization doesn't receive the grants and those big funders and corporate funding because we, could you say, are on the outer skirts, right, of what they're looking for when it comes to research. Even though we have peer-reviewed journals in the publications and it's all, legitimate findings and research available out there through the the organization. And so in 2023, we moved forward, and I was brought on to be a part of bringing forth a conference, and we have a gala event. So it's now the annual gala fundraising event, and all 3 days serve the purpose of supporting the legacy and the research of the foundation and getting out to the broader public, and then also being able to fundraise so that we can cover the phases of the current project that they are working with the university.
I love it. I love it. We are certainly no stranger to the types of behaviors from certain entities that you're talking about. That's why here at Beat Cancer, we very much resonate with the Beljanski mission, and how real you guys keep it in what you say, and what you're up to, and how you're not afraid to plant your flag firmly in the holistic camp, even though some people have some issues with that. And so we love that. We love that you have that as your mission.
Kind of surprising that it wasn't allowed in France, but it is allowed in the U.S. because the U.S. seems pretty tight now.
Well, now it is. This, granted, right? This was quite some time ago, many, many decades ago, that his work was brought here. And the story, there are some interviews out there of Sylvie speaking to this. If those who are on Rumble, if you go to Robert Scott Bell, Sylvie did an interview with him recently. That might be the easiest one to locate, and she does speak to what really unfolded. But essentially, her father helped a French governmental official and essentially helped save his life from cancer through his botanical methods. And that was frowned upon, and they came for his laboratory and shut it down.
Mm. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's so nice.
Those who know how much of a badge of honor that is. So
Yeah, it is a badge of honor. It means you're doing something right.
yeah.
Yes. And I will say to Sylvie's mother and to Sylvie, the way in which they stood their ground, and they've never been political in this. It's always been about principle and, just standing firmly up against, the atrocity that happened to her father, and choosing to be steadfast and to continue after a decade of just going through it and then bringing it here and really truly believing in it and knowing that this was something to bring to the people and offer this information. The organization is very transparent about any of the projects and research and publications that they do, and it is always available. Which is one thing that really stands out about the foundation, in comparison to some other organizations that do raise a lot of money and are doing research, but yet are not fully transparent or do not share with other providers and practitioners in the field openly the publication findings, so that they can continue to take those findings and actually do something with it and offer it to their patients.
Absolutely. And that is such a key and critical component of anything, the actionables, right? Because how many organizations are out there funding research, and I always put it in quotes because I don't see them doing it. And even if they are, to come up with another piece of paper, fantastic, right? How many studies are out there? What is that really doing? Who is that helping? And so,
Mm-hmm.
that's why our Beat Cancer's philosophy has always been, let's be an education institution where there's already enough research. Let's get the research that exists and get it to the people that need it. But of course, there's always wonderful things in a wholesome way and in a transparent way that can be researched and can end result with new and wonderful things to bring to the public, like the Beljanski Foundation does. So it's a great partnership here. Awesome.
Thank you.
So I
Thank you
have
for sharing a little bit
couple
about
questions.
the mission. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were done. I didn't mean to interrupt, Zach.
No, I was about to lead you in. But go ahead.
So, what type of people is this conference for? Is it for the layperson, or is it Will it be a little bit over their heads? Will it be for medical people, or is it a little bit of both? Um, what 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 do you think
Well,
people take away from this?
yeah, well, the great thing is, as somebody who's a part of events and locally in my state, I've been part of a lot of creating a lot of holistic fairs and other integrative events. And so this event is for the layperson. It is for the cancer patient, the caregivers, the hospice caregivers, palliative. We also then, so the what we have from our first year event to be able to show is that roughly between 60 to 70% of people were cancer patients or people who had chronic illness and their caregivers. And then the other 30 to 40% are providers or practitioners. And so there's a nice balance there. And with those that are participating from our exhibitors and sponsors as well, that really is a nice balance too of consumer based, like direct to consumer, and then a lot of our vendors, exhibitors that are there also have an avenue for practitioners and those with clinics and who see patients. And so we have a nice blend of both for the more practitioner provider academic side, clinical side, and then also information for the everyday person or somebody that's, striving to support a family member going through cancer and interested in the more holistic and integrative pathways. And then we also have, we do have people who they are kind of quiet at first and then they open up and at the event have been like, oh, I've been a nurse, for a long time, or someone coming out of more of the mainstream allopathic, and they find our event and they're like, I'm coming because I'm interested or something's going on, or I know I need to like detox and live a healthier lifestyle. And so because they already have that medical education, healthcare education, they're coming to our event because we are featuring our nation and other countries, some of the top integrative oncologists and practitioners in cancer and just around this lifestyle in general. So it's nice. We have people who are already in that pathway of living a more natural lifestyle, and then those that are ready to really dive in and learn more coming as well.
I love it.
Excellent.
I love it.
Thank you so
That's
much.
amazing. And so it's, really, really designed to meet people where they're at and just get everyone thinking, get everyone learning on a deeper level, connecting them all. Awesome. So let's talk about the kind of things that people might hear at this conference. What type of content can people expect? Like, what are we going to be talking about? What are we going to be learning about?
Well, first and foremost, we are going to have Sylvie Beljanski, our president, is going to open up with sharing, unveiling what has been given to us on the 3 phases that were conducted from our fundraiser at the 2023 event on breast cancer stem cells. And so she will be revealing that, and then a couple months later the full publication will be made available because they just wrapped this up recently at the university. So that's going to be really exciting. She's going to be bringing forth information, pulling from the dissertations on that and presenting. And then Dr. Hall is going to then continue on with this year's focus and fundraiser, which is on prostate cancer stem cells. And so he will set the stage and educate and notate the importance of this particular cancer stem cell project and correlate that in. And so our speakers who are coming, obviously we're there for cancer, and people are coming with what have they been most recently working on? What are they seeing in their clinical practices or with their patients as practitioners? And so they bring that forward. And so there will be some who will bring forth their presentations and tie in the prostate cancer piece of it, as that is part of this year's focus and purpose for this year's event. And then in general, we have providers, speakers who are very like niche focused in their practice, and they will speak exclusively to that. So we have everything from nutrition to frequency healing, to emotion and mental, how to navigate that terrain within navigating having chronic illness and cancer, to doctors covering protocols, especially those that have some of the bigger integrative cancer clinics. And there's so many topics, and I definitely don't have them memorized, but we've got 2 stages this year. So we are going to be slightly overlapping presenters this year from 2 stages. So there's a lot to choose from. And we do have the schedule up. And then for those that are coming or attend through a virtual ticket, as we get closer, we will have the topics identified for everybody, more forward facing, but we do have that schedule running so people can get an idea of what's going to be presented. We do have some meditations. We have a musical meditation, inspirational leader that will be here at the event, and so that will be really nice. We like to bring in that component so that people can feel and experience the validity to what it is to drop into the nervous system and in the body and out of the mind, especially when you're navigating so much on so many levels. So that will be an option to attend. And we have some panels this year. We have an expert panel where doctors will be in a panel discussion, and also I believe that it's going to get opened up for audience Q&A, just a few questions, but it'll be interactive. And so that'll be happening on Saturday towards the end of the day. And then on Sunday, we have a Thriver panel, and it is with different individuals who are thrivers of cancer and have their own story and background. And many of them have taken this journey. Maybe it's happened to them 20 years ago. Some of them, they're currently in it, but see themselves as thriving and know that they are clearing the way through using holistic and integrative modalities and those mindsets that go along with it. And so some of them are now coaching and supporting and providing frameworks to people. So they will also have a bit of a discussion and based on their experience, and then we will open that up for Q&A as well, so that those at the conference can ask questions to those that have been actively living as a cancer thriver in the world. So those will be exciting to have added.
That's
Wow.
awesome. That's awesome.
A lot
It
of
sounds
stuff.
like there's a good variety of
Yeah,
different
yeah.
formats, from panels to lectures to meditations with music. That's it's a lot of fun. When it's too much just lecture all the time, it gets pretty fatiguing, but mixing it up, it keeps it fresh. Are there any that you're especially excited to catch yourself?
I had a feeling that was going to get asked, so I'll come back to that. I also want to point out, because you're mentioning, we are still a little lecture heavy. The great thing is that our speakers, I'm familiar with them through other associations, and a lot of them, they're just so engaging, and they get, many of them get the audience up out of their seat and going to experience what they're speaking to. But as you mentioned, we've sprinkled in some other things as well in the programming, and we do bring in the holistic concept compared to the other integrative, like expos and symposiums, where you're just inundated and there's so much going on and you just got to hustle through. We open up with an opening ceremony where we lead people to drop into their heart space and come together and create coherence. And we also conclude, it's basically at the majority of the end of the programming on Sunday, with a closing ceremony. And so we have a Qigong master. We have, again, another musical meditation involved, and guided meditation and other components, where we're bringing in that frequency component as well, and creating this heart-centered container during the event, which really does transform the way that the speakers and the vendors and the participants and everybody show up together. You know, it levels the playing field around how people show up, instead of just being like, okay, we're at the conference, you know, and like, and the next thing. I'm really proud to be a part of a team that puts that on for such a, you know, a heavy subject. And there's a lot of information that really gets shared, and it's also alive and critical for people. So we create that container and balance.
I love that
Um,
Qigong. That always gets the endorphins going.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like 400 people in a room doing Qigong together.
Yeah. You feel the energy for sure. So
Yeah.
with all those things going on top of that, you have workshops, and
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah, so each evening of the conference, Saturday and Sunday, we have 2-hour workshops. This is either included with the VIP or as an add-on for a general admission to the conference. And these are deep dives up close and personal with the facilitators. And we have two presenting. Zach, can you bring up the image for us?
I can.
And so while he's bringing that up, I'll share a little bit more about the workshop. So each facilitator has their own flow, but there is engagement. And if you are going to come to one of those, definitely recommend bringing a notebook. We don't record it or publish it in the replays for the workshops, because there's just so much that goes into these. And like I said, you have opportunities to really be interacting with the doctors, and they typically open it up for Q&A at the end, or even during and throughout their process. And so Dr. Tony Jimenez is on Saturday evening, and his topic is From Terrain to Tumor: How Cancer Develops and How to Stop It. And so he'll be going into depth on that particular topic. And then Dr. Brian Artis will be on Sunday evening, and his is on long COVID. And he's been really working hard the last couple of years, and working with other researchers on nicotine. And so he's bringing forth the top 10 natural antidotes, including nicotine, known to beat all of the 200 long COVID symptoms and diseases. And so we're really excited that these two workshops are going to be provided this year, and go into depth, because they're so relevant right now, between terrain and how we're seeing turbo cancers and things rapidly showing up with all of the pollution that we're exposed to. And then for those long COVID symptoms and things that we are, or family members are still, you know, experiencing. So that's pretty groundbreaking stuff there. And so, yeah, those will be for 2 hours each evening after the run. So you won't miss any of the general session speakers or other programming. Those will be designated for the evenings.
Awesome.
So excited to see Dr. Artis.
Yeah, funny story about that. Well, Carl and myself are nicotine maximalists, and we've been for some time. And I was just doing some personal, research, looking up continued education stuff. And I was on rumble.com and I came across a Dr. Artist video and I sent it to Carl. I was like, hey, this guy's pretty cool. And Carl said, I think he's going to be at the Beljanski conference. And then we're like, oh, look at that. No way. I didn't even realize. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That's super fun. So as a reminder for
And his,
everyone.
I
Yeah,
was going to say his TED Talk from the general sessions will be kind of setting the stage and speaking to this, since that's been his focus for the last couple of years. So those that are only attending the conference will be able to get some nuggets and a lot of information. He tends to power pack it in. If you've I myself had a virtual ticket. I wanted to go to the AGES conference, which Dr. Artis is one of those doctors that put on that conference. And man, the amount of slides to what he runs through is pretty epic. So if you're coming, plan to and it'll be a lot.
Oh man, that's awesome. So yeah, just a reminder for those who may not have caught it, the workshops that we just mentioned by Dr. Antonio Jimenez and Dr. Brian Artis are add-ons. So they're not included in the
Yes.
general admission ticket. If someone does want to attend, they can either add the workshops on to their base ticket, or if you purchase the VIP ticket, you do get inclusion to the workshops and you get included in the gala. So please, Brandi,
Yeah.
tell us about the gala and what to expect there and what's that all about.
Absolutely. So Friday evening, we are going to have a gala fundraising dinner. And being that we came to Austin, Texas this time around, we're going to embody that Texas charm, and it's a Texas chic, boots and bling affair. So if you like to get dolled up or like to go out and experience entertainment and give back to charity, this is going to be a really fun event. And we will be having Dr. Hall and Sylvie and our board speak to what we funded and what we are currently funding in those projects. And we have quite the lineup for the evening. We're going to have everything from comedians to more musically heart-centered experiential during dinner. It is a gourmet dinner that we're happy to say, and this goes for the 2 days at the conference as well. We find, I say we because I am not on the board of directors. I am the conference director, but I am of the same vein for those I work for and in my own lifestyle. And so it was just a decision that we all feel good about to walk our talk. And so we make sure that whatever venue we are at for our event, that the food is predominantly organic or non-GMO, and we only have them cook with healthy oils, no seed oils, real salt. Like we go above and beyond, and our coffee stations are organic and our teas organic, and we really walk our talk with, right? People are there to understand what is necessary when navigating cancer or the precursors to, right? Like being preventative. And so we're excited that our gourmet meal experience and even our cocktail mocktail experience will be as clean as possible and really yummy for everyone. And we're going to have dance performances with country improv swing dancers, and we're going to do a little dancing together. We'll have an award ceremony. We award those in the space who are doing great things by putting out information in the holistic or integrative space, not necessarily always specific to cancer, but just really helping continue to hold that torch for the natural, clean, holistic lifestyles. So we have that, and we're going to have a really awesome live auction. We've got some really great donations coming in. So it's going to be really fun and exciting there. And we're going to have a red carpet like experience. Robert Scott Bell is going to be live streaming before we go all in to sit down for the evening and covering our pre-mingling red carpet experience coming into the gala. So that'll be really fun. And yeah, ultimately our goal there is, to focus on the fundraising and why we're all there. And if you do have a virtual ticket, you will get to watch all of it in action and you can participate. We will have a silent auction as well, and we're going to be having that on a digital platform. So if you're not there in person for the live auction, any of those that want to support through when you're watching virtually, or if you just feel inspired to support our cause and help us with continuing to bring forth this conference through our website, we'll be opening up that silent auction closer to the event. And so people can look for that if they like that kind of thing, because again, we've got great natural, organic, and like frequency based, like so many great auction items being offered from all of our like sponsors and speakers and supporters and stuff. And so gifts that you don't normally get at your everyday like spaghetti supper fundraiser, or even the mainstream philanthropic events, right? Like we really strive that what we have in house really falls into the mold of what we are educating people on. And so yeah, so that's our Friday night.
Wow. I was already looking forward to it. Carl and I'll be there, but now I'm really excited. That's super fun. Comedy. I mean, Austin is one of the comedy capitals of the world right now, so that's super exciting. Dancing, all this stuff. That's crazy. That's gonna be a good time. I'm super happy that there's gonna be clean salt, clean food. For those that
Yeah.
have seen me at other events, I travel with my own salt because you can't trust the salt out there.
It's
But
true.
I'm glad to know I can leave it at home.
You're not alone. I do too.
I have these little containers I just bought because, normally I bring in a little shaker. It's a little cumbersome though, but it looks like I'm doing something naughty when I pull up a little little vial of,
A
of,
little
of
white
crushed
thing.
up powder,
Well,
But
I'm Zach's +1, and I'm hearing all about this dancing, so it's going to be pretty fun.
It'll be great.
yeah.
Yeah,
You have to wear your cowboy boots.
I actually got my son has his feet are my same size, and he's all of a sudden real big into the cowboy boots, and he's letting me borrow a pair of boots, so I actually have a pair to bring,
Perfect.
and we'll go out and get myself a bolo tie.
Nice.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I guess a question that's on everybody's mind, that that all these great things and the gala and everything. Are tickets still available? Can we still get tickets to this event?
Yes, absolutely. We still have tickets available for the gala, VIP and general admission. We're pretty grateful that this venue that we're at this year, we can take ticket sales pretty close up to the event. So that's exciting. So yes, for the general admission tickets on the ticket page, just so everyone knows, we have a gradual increasing ticket tiered system. So your general admission and your virtual ticket, they're the same price. And as you can see there where Zach is circling, we're currently in tier 3 and it's going to end here soon in a few more days. And so then we'll go up to tier 4. And then the final is in those days right leading up beforehand. If you happen to be in the Austin area and then you decide, oh my gosh, I'm available, I can go, we will have a limited amount of day only tickets that can be purchased. And so those will be found. Our ticket platform is on our website, but essentially it's also, it is through Eventbrite. So even if you just go to the Eventbrite and search Austin, Texas and our name, you'll find our ticket page there.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm seeing here that some of the ticket is a tax deductible donation, and it's considered a tax
Correct.
deductible donation.
So for the VIP, it is a larger ticket price because it includes a seat at the gala, and part of the gala ticket is part of your contribution and donation towards it being a fundraiser. And so, yes, we have at full price, it's it is listed on there that up to $649 of that ticket is available for you to list as a tax deduction. And our nonprofit information is on our website, or you can always follow up. But essentially, it's pretty standard accounting for donations to nonprofits. So yes, so your gala ticket, if you just come solo, or you have a general mission and you're like, actually, I just want to come to the gala, that is a separate purchase, the gala ticket. And so that also comes with that portion that you'll see there that shows how much is tax deductible from that purchase.
Awesome, awesome. Very cool. And then here are the workshops. Can someone purchase a workshop if they don't have general admission ticket, or is it only an add-on?
They are not able to. They have to have a general admission ticket to get the add-on.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for clearing
Mm-hmm.
that up.
Mm-hmm.
And for those purchasing tickets, don't forget that as Ruby sponsors, Beat Cancer is very, very proud to be able to bring you a code. Using code BeatCancer at checkout will get you a bit of savings there. So awesome.
I believe that's 15%, no, Brandi?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Awesome. And we are super, super grateful to the Beljanski Foundation for allowing us to offer that to our community. Super fun. And so, yeah, I think that's all of our official questions here. There's still time to get tickets, but do act fast because those tiers are coming up. The increase in price is coming up soon. Yeah, virtual tickets were covered, in-person tickets were covered, the gala, the workshops. I think we can head to some questions. What do
Yeah,
you
so there's one of a question that's in the chat here that has to do with recording. Is this whole thing going to be recorded so that the people that had bought tickets can view the recordings later?
Great question. So if you purchase a virtual ticket, you will receive the recordings. They will come out roughly 3 weeks post-event because we will be doing post-production to make them more clean presentations versus because it's just from a live stream. And then if you buy a VIP ticket, it is also included. A potential question you might be thinking, well, why is it not included in the general admission? And it is simply because for the virtual ticket, it's the weigh-in of you're able to watch from home or to go back and see it again. And that has its own value. With the in-person, you get to come and have all of the other experiences that you get. But the in-person ticket, also requires you to travel and to stay. And there's more involved, and we have hard costs for coming to the event. So right now, for us as a organization, that's how we chose to set that up. So you can get a recording through the virtual ticket or through the VIP ticket.
Cool, cool. Another question we had is, will Dr. Lodi be speaking this year?
Great question. So Dr. Lodi is on our lineup, and he he was at our first event. He is a fan favorite. This year, he is not able to make it from Thailand. There recently, we were notified that he's not going to be able to make it. But we have great news. He just loves everybody so much, and he's so inspired by sharing that after they were like, oh my gosh, we can't make it. He can't make it. We are going to have a post event. And we will send out information on this once we get it from them post event. And so he is going to host a live interactive session with our attendees who were ticket holders for them to have time with him after the event, since he's not going to be able to make it.
That's
That's
both
super
live
awesome.
and virtual ticket holders.
Yes.
Yep.
Super awesome. When I was talking about having lecture fatigue, someone commented, those of us who love the research love the lectures. Fair enough, fair enough. I just don't, maybe it's just me. I don't like sitting in one place for too long, but
You
that
just have
could
to
be-
stand.
That's true. That's true. Let's see. Someone just said, I listened to a podcast episode on the Beljanski Cancer podcast. Very enlightening. Awesome. Awesome. Someone's asking about the Beat Cancer discount. Is that available on the VIP tickets as well?
Yes.
Amazing.
Gala, virtual, all of the tickets.
Awesome.
So speaking to ticket purchases and codes, so the 15% is offered to our sponsors or exhibitors. They have their unique code, which is 5% more than if you go to our website, event website, and opt in, which we still recommend you do. We have some great ebook downloads from Sylvie that she's offering in the foundation, and you get that download. And then you get a 10% off code. But once you've opted in and you purchase your first ticket, then you get a follow-up email, and we actually send out a follow-up promo if you want to upgrade or add on. So say you can't commit to the VIP ticket, but you want to get the add-on would obviously only be for in-persons. But if you got a general admission, then you're like, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm going to Sunday night's workshop. You'll get another promo code for that additional purchase.
Awesome. Awesome. Super kind of you. All right. I think we have a couple minutes here for open Q&A. I'd love to welcome other people to the chat. Let's see. I'll take off the spotlight, and please do use the raise your hand feature if you would like to ask a question while we have some time here.
We have a bunch of coaches on. I'm sure some of them have questions. Don't be shy.
Yep. The mic is live. The floor is open. If anyone has any questions, comments, while you have the conference director herself here, when else are you gonna get a chance to speak to the person behind the scenes putting it all on?
The one that knows all the answers.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for an email.
Yeah. Don't
And if
ask
not,
us.
we'll keep chatting ourselves because we're having fun.
Yeah, don't ask us because we don't know. We only know what you know.
This isn't really a conference specific question, but someone on Facebook asked what we think of bioresonance. I don't
Bioresonance at like in and of itself as a concept, or like can we be more specific? And also I am not a clinical provider.
Of course. No. That's yeah, that could be a question for one of our general calls. But
What I would say though is that we will definitely have exhibitors in-house featuring therapy tools that have bioresonance built into them and are based on them. Dr. Pollock, he is the man behind the PMF, the PEMF technologies, and we have a few other in-house. And so when it comes to frequency-based devices, therapy tools, concepts, integrations of utilizing it, this is the place to come.
Awesome. Someone's asking if there's more availability for exhibitors. I would imagine it being so close, there's not, but who knows? Let's find out.
So if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you I was sold out. But I do have 2 opportunities. While they're still open, they're first come, first serve. I have reached out to my waiting list. But if you are interested, you need to go to our website and go to the speakers and exhibitor page and click on exhibitors, and there's an application, and fill that out, and we will review it and get back to you if it is still available by the time we get your information and review it. Yes, and so it's there, and then when you apply for it, essentially it's a form. Send us all of your information so we can verify and look at everything, and then we'll be in contact with you. And we are a small organization, so I will say, please just give us a moment to get back to you.
Along the same vein, how about, is there any room for sponsorship left?
Yeah, we do. We do have some great gemstone sponsorships that are more digital forward. Say you're interested in supporting, but you can't be there, or you're really not a fit to be one of our top tiered sponsors that have the exhibitor spaces and that level of involvement. We do have those gemstones sponsorships. And again, you go to the same place that Zach was just showing you for sponsors and fill out a form. And we'll send you the information. And then we do have a couple of bronze sponsorships, which is entry level into our precious metal tier, or top tier. And then we do have a gold sponsorship available for anyone that may know of a company that would really like to come in and really anchor and support us for the event.
Awesome. Awesome. Someone's asking if Dr. Jen will be discussing cancer and hormone therapy.
Dr. Jen Simmons?
I'm not sure.
That's your only Dr. Jen, or do you have more than one?
I'm assuming that is who it is. We have one Dr. Jen. And so I will tell you that I am not the person that retrieves the speaker information. So I don't have all of their topics memorized at this point. But I know that she's a wealth of information. So definitely keep an eye on our speaker schedule. And the topics, their speaker topics will be posted on there as we're able to publish them.
Awesome. Yeah, they did just clarify in the chat that they were speaking of Dr. Jen Simmons. So I found her here. Doesn't say her.
Pop over to the schedule page.
You got it.
Could you?
Schedule.
And go to
here.
schedule, and then click on Saturday. I think she's on Saturday. Let's see. My memory served me correctly. There we go. The Forgotten Woman Reclaiming Your Life After Breast Cancer. And she's on the expert panel.
Got it. Got it. Cool.
Looking forward to seeing Dr. Kegley too.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have a power packed presentation.
We've got a hand up. Thank you for the participation.
Yay.
Over to Deb.
Hi. Oh, sorry. I was waiting for my hand to come down there. Hi, Brandi. My name's Deborah, and I'm a holistic cancer coach with BeatCancer.Org. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for coming on here and speaking with us. And I really appreciated listening to what you had to say. I'm going to be a first-time attendee at the Beljanski conference, so I'm really looking forward to it. And this was fantastic. And now it makes me want to go to the gala. So I just wanted to say thank you very much.
Do you have cowboy boots?
I do have cowboy boots.
Does Deb look like a woman who would not have cowboy boots? Come on. Come on.
I know,
yes.
right?
The attire is wear your satin dress, wear your whatever gown you want with your boots. We will be dressed to impress. The gala is quite a networking and inspirational event. in and of itself. It's very uplifting. Yeah, it would be amazing to see you there. And I'm sure I'm a face person, so I'll look to say hello. And if I look like a blur, it's because I am spinning many plates. So he'll say hello in passing.
Absolutely. Thank you again. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll look for you.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. We're just about at the top of the hour. We do have a brief moment here. If anyone has any last minute questions, please do grab the mic, unmute yourself, hop on cam if you're so comfortable in doing so, and get your last minute questions in. And if not, over to Brandi.
I have one other thing to mention. So for any of those that are interested in trying to make it in person, we do have a few volunteer needs still at the conference. If you have any experience being a part of artist relations, like being a stagehand, for any type of events, whether they're local, they don't have to be like experiential and larger scale events. We're looking for volunteers to support us there, as well as in hospitality, or if you have experience volunteering or supporting in registration, or have administrative skills and are good with like phone applications. And we have a get involved page where you can find the volunteer at conference option and the application there, so you can scan through. We clearly outline what we ask for in exchange and the requirements for that and the different volunteer roles that we have. But those are definitely key areas that we're looking for. But in general, we do have a few more volunteer slots open if that is of interest to you. And so also on the Get Involved page, if any of you are inspired to share this particular page out to your community or friends and family, it lists a few other options that we have, particularly if you know of a business that would fall in line, which would like fall in line with like our demographic, to offer maybe something to the auction or in service trade. There's information on there, and we're still looking for donors that may want to donate a scholarship ticket, because we definitely do have a list of cancer patients that we are really striving to support, giving them access to this information in their journey. And so sharing that out, it could be one ticket versus the whole program, and all the information's inside of those blurbs that Zach just briefly showed. And so you can find more information there if you feel called to spreading this information. And you never know, the ripple effect is pretty mighty.
Awesome. We've got a last minute question from Maya.
It's more why I just want to say thank you. I think I'm more excited than any other person here, because the event is like literal 12 minutes away from my house here in Austin. So
You're having an after party.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm right here. I'm very excited. It's my first time going to be participating in the event, and I'm cancer coach from with BeatCancer.Org also. So very excited seeing everyone in person and participating.
Wonderful.
And your presentation was wonderful.
We all invited ourselves over to Maya's house for dinner.
Yes, well, I did say that already, so I'm planning on.
Awesome,
I'm planning
awesome.
on. We just gotta choose the date and time.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Maya. We're looking forward to seeing you there.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
So, Brandi, for anyone that is on the fence and kind of wants to go and likes what you said but isn't quite sure, what would you say to those people? What are your closing thoughts for our friends here?
Well, to speak to that concisely is more challenging for me.
We got time. Don't worry about us.
That's
We'll
a
be
big
here.
question. So what I would say is that we are offering this event first and foremost for the education, and then because it allows the foundation to become known to the wider span of the public and supports our cause in the research. And so, you know, it's ultimately we're helping you help us support the many, right? It's all in reciprocity. By coming, you're supporting our ability to conduct research and create the ability for other companies to create formulas, or other practitioners and providers to bring this forth to patients and out to the world and do something greater with this. But ultimately, it's your journey. And so this event, if it speaks to you, if you feel like you are looking to make connections, build community, or really have a personal experience outside of being in front of the screen and scrolling another product website or therapy website, or, you know, come, because we have over 40 vendors at our event. And if there is someone that's speaking to something and you're like, well, that's actually what I'm going through, and I think I need to know more about that, this event gives you the opportunity to then have conversation with our exhibitors and learn more, and have more of an embodied experience and feel what they're into, like, right, like, am I guided, or, oh no, this isn't for me, or that's not the company for me. And then also be able to have conversations with others that are around. And you never know who you're going to end up in conversation with, and people are just going to be there ready to share and really offer, you know, what they can to each other. And the energy, like, the energy is really, really great at this event. We've only had one, but we're feeling really good about the experience, and we've been very mindful of not growing too fast. And so really taking the feedback that we were given from the first event. And as an event planner, I've been a part of a lot of events and different types of events. And what I'll say is that there is a synergy there is just a different feel that you get. It feels more down to earth and approachable and welcoming at this event, even though there are several hundred people. And you know, the comments that we were getting from our speakers, who are world-renowned international speakers who have been in the field of cancer for decades, and they told us this was the best event that they had ever been a part of, and they were amongst us with the people. Like, everyone feels comfortable and really, like, able to really drop in and connect. And so it's hard to put words to, like, what could possibly happen, or what could you experience or have come to you from coming in person and really fully immersing yourself. You know, the sky's the limit for what could possibly come out of that for you. And just being around people, sometimes when we're going through, like, I've had my own physical structural issues this past year in my health journey. And, you know, there's times where, you know, we're working and we're doing the things and we're not getting out, and we don't have access to other people who can bring that light or that inspiration to, like, keep going. And just coming for a few days and being around hundreds of people that are feeling inspired, or, you know, that ratio of people bringing their magic and what they have and sharing that love and inspiration with each other, you could ride that as long as you wish to, you know, and that in of itself is a complete game changer in your frequency field and your beliefs and disrupting your patterns. And so I'd say, you know, feel into whether or not, you know, you're ready to experience this in your journey.
Absolutely. It's so beautiful. You know, reading a book is one thing, watching a video is another, even being on a Zoom call is good, but nothing beats in-person connection, communication, immersion. And, you know, for someone that isn't sure if they're ready for such an event, whether they're a new practitioner or a new, you know, patient just looking into these things for the first time, or whomever looking into these things, nothing can get you ready more than immersing yourself into a weekend-long event with like-minded individuals that want nothing more than to get this information out there to help others learn and achieve a healthier, happier, more holistic world. Very, very beautiful closing message. Fantastic presentation. I know not everyone's on
Yep.
camera, but please do join me in your homes, giving Brandi a big round of applause. Thank you
Yes.
very, very much for being our special guest tonight. Carl, any closing thoughts from yourself?
We're just so happy to be just a small part of it, and we can't wait to get in and help out and be part of the back end as well. So and just so great that we could meet you, and I see you're losing light by the minute.
Yes.
You did say that would happen. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking time out and speaking with us tonight. And we're excited to get this posted and get the clips out so we can get some views and attention to the event.
Awesome.
Well, it's my pleasure. The foundation, we're very grateful for the opportunity to be able to come and be here with your group as well. And, you know, we're all in this together, right? So we as well support Beat Cancer and your mission and all of the practitioners that you're bringing to the world, especially because, you know, there are very strict veins of integrative cancer care. And, you know, Sylvie, we believe in the science and we know that it ripples beyond that. And so, again, we're grateful to all of you who believe in this path. As I wear that holistic hat myself predominantly. And so it's been a pleasure. Thank you all for the gratitude. It means a lot. And yeah, I'm excited. Before we know it, Carl, Zach, we'll be together. We'll be in our boots.
In just about a month now. So, hey, be
Yeah.
sure to go get your tickets, use BeatCancer at checkout, and we hope to see everyone in a month's time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this call. We'll see you next week for our regularly scheduled call. And yeah, enjoy this send out video. Have a wonderful night, Brandi, and we'll see you soon.
You as well. Good night.
Bye now.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon.